What it is, what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. Happy Juneteenth. On this day in 1865, the slaves were freed. My brothers and sisters, we are free at last. And don't get it twisted, we are not our ancestors. We will continue to fight for our rights and what we believe in, for equal rights. Welcome back to Yesterday Today. This, of course, is the show where I bring you some of the biggest news you may have missed for Yesterday Today. A bit of housekeeping. I also want to say thank you for everyone who showed up to the stream last night. And it appears that the stream didn't save and post to my YouTube. And I kind of expected that because the stream seemed to be bugging out a little bit. It was a couple people there, but every time one person commented, it would just spam the comments. Nobody was continuously spamming the comments, but if you posted one comment, it just kept posting. And there was a point where nobody commented for about 10 minutes, and it just kept popping up and popping up and popping up. So I don't know what happened with that, but I'm glad everybody was there. Maybe it's for the best. And it was a really fun stream. Playing The Last of Us finally, I was really excited. And maybe it was for the best. The first hour is pretty slow, and that's good. You got to set the pace and you got to set the tone for everything, and I loved it and can't wait to get more into it. But with that out of the way, let's get into the news. And here we go with the appetizer. So the World Video Game Hall of Fame inducts 4 new games. Now, they inducted 4 new games, and, well, listen to the list that they had selected it from. Bejeweled, Centipede, Frogger, GoldenEye 007, and me personally, like my brothers and all of my brothers' friends, they love GoldenEye because this is when my brother and them, when they were in college, and that was the game to go to. That and WWE's No Mercy, but then also was Guitar Hero, King's Quest, Minecraft, NBA Jam, Nokia Snake, Super Smash Brothers Melee, of course, great game. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, the best Uncharted game, I might say. And where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? So that is the list that they got all of the games from, but here are the games that won. Bejeweled, Centipede, King's Quest, and Minecraft. Hey, listen, that all makes sense, and I can't argue with that. Minecraft is still selling over hundreds of millions of copies, and it's, hey, do your thing. Bejeweled and Centipede are all very classic. Now, I'm not familiar with King's Quest, but I know that those other ones are very big deals. Now, moving on to the next piece of the appetizer. Obsidian. You remember that basically Xbox brought them, Microsoft Game Studios bought them? Well, their game Grounded, where you play as children and y'all are shrunk down and basically fighting ants and stuff like that. There's a demo on Steam and Xbox One, and you can have access to it for until June 22nd. But there's a caveat on the Xbox version, and that says if you're registered with Xbox Insider, and you got to go to the tab and go on your Xbox to see if you have access to it, and you have until Monday, June 22nd. If you're interested in this, you can play it all throughout the weekend. And speaking of the Gaming Hall of Fame and world records, you remember Billy Mitchell? He basically set world records for stuff like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, the originals. And well, his Guinness Book of World Records has been reinstated. And now, now people can stop shaming him. People saying he was fixing it, and to my knowledge, he actually streams a lot of games online, proving that he can do it. And it's good to know that he has reinstated and he has proven himself because, hey, listen, these people, there was speedrunners and everybody who was trying to break records even back then. And good to know that this man worked so hard for it, and it wasn't taken away. So, moving on to the next piece of the appetizer, I want to say, there's Game Club. It's a subscription-based service for mobile gaming. You know how Apple has one and Google Play has one. Now there's come to Android. It's $5 a month, and it launched last fall. Now, when it started, it had about 100 titles. Now it has 120 classic titles, especially with games that have been downloaded over 100 million times. For $5 a month, you can access a lot of these games. It seems like everybody's going to subscription-based service this currently, and I really do believe it's going to be a big deal in the coming generation. Now, moving on to the real meat and potatoes, and as soon as you go to a restaurant, as soon as you open your meal, and there might be something disappointing in there. you want to send your meal back and go, no, I need this recooked. And it's because you might the meal might not be cooked through, or you might have found a random piece of hair in it. Well, these next two stories are like that random piece of hair, but you can't give it back. And it appears that we might get a delay on the ARMS character that is slated to come to Super Smash Bros. This month. There's an interview that Push Dustin had translated on Twitter, and basically Sakurai is still alluding to the fact that COVID-19 is slowing down production of things, and it might not be able to be released right away. I mean, it's 75% of his staff is working on everything, but they can only do so much from home, and that's actually very disappointing. Now, I haven't played Smash in quite some time, but I really want to get back into it. When I hang out with my cousin who loves Smash, he comes through with all of the new characters and everything like that, and so I get my straight up Smash Brothers fulfillment. But I am a Smash fan, and I do think it's absolutely fun. And of course, for the more hardcore, this is some absolutely disappointing news. And speaking of disappointing news, this on my end is very disappointing. Cyberpunk 2077 is delayed another 2 months. It's 2 months and 2 days, I guess, to be exact. It's coming, instead of coming September 17th, it's coming on November 19th. Now, it appears to me that if it's coming in November, I kind of knew that it wasn't releasing this gen. It will, but it'll be a cross-gen game, because I do believe the Xbox Series X and the PS5 will be releasing around this time. And they released an official statement on Twitter yesterday. It's a long one, but I'm going to read it to you, lads and ladettes, and here we go. We have decided to move the launch of Cyberpunk 2077 from September 17th to November 19th. Really disappointing. Those of you who are familiar with the way we make games know that we won't ship something which is not ready. Ready when it's done. It's not just a phrase we say because it sounds right. It's something we live by, even when we know we'll take the heat for it. At the same time, we are fully aware that making such a decision costs us your trust, and trading trust for additional time is one of the hardest decisions a game developer can make. And despite we think it's the right decision for the game, we'd still like to apologize for making you wait longer. Our intention is to make Cyberpunk 2077 something that will stay with you for years to come. In the end, we hope you understand why we did what we did. And they also want to say that the game is completely finished, but they want to do some hot fixes, iron out some bugs and some wrinkles, and really give it, listen, I'm just as upset as anybody else that this game is getting delayed, because it's probably, for me personally, the second biggest game of the year, with today The Last of Us Part 2 coming out, and this game is going to be on the second half of the year, and it's going to coast us into the next generation and into 2021. And yes, this is disappointing, but I want games to be done and finished and to be perfected. The Witcher 3 has sold so many copies worldwide to the point that it even got a TV show, and of course it was a book first, but the gaming series has made it way more popular than the books have. But man, I just really wish we was getting the game sooner than later. But hey, look, now September is for Avengers and Tony Hawk, but I do believe Avengers might even itself get delayed itself one more time. But hey, I can't wait for November. I really don't know any other games that's coming out past September, any really big games. So I'm excited once again for November 19th, and I will be there on launch day streaming it. And I'm as excited as anybody else. But that is it for the disappointing news. And there's some great news. And the great news is coming from, yes, EA. The EA Play live event happened yesterday. And while I won't talk about everything that happened, I will talk about some of the biggest news that happened. So yesterday, we got a reveal for a new skate game. They didn't say it was Skate 4 or whatever. They just said, we're working on a new skate game. And basically, cause Chris Cuz Perry, he says, we really cannot believe you commented this into existence. Now, I am not a huge Skate fan because I haven't even played Skate as of yet, but I know the big deal that it is and why so many people were vocal about it. There was 3 Skates for a reason. People loved the game, people wanted more of the game, and I'm hoping and wishing that this game is just as great or even better than the other Skate games with no microtransactions, of course. And we also got an official longer trailer and a full breakdown for EA Star Wars Squadrons. And me being a Star Wars game fan and especially being a fan of dogfighting games, getting into piloting and stuff like that, this game is in its full entirety in VR. Single player, multiplayer, everything with multiple modes. And I'm excited, I'm here for it. It's only $40, so I'm really trying to see where the lack of content is. They didn't seem to skimp on content because it's a very beautiful game, and it appears to only be in the cockpit. You can only, basically see all of the controls. It's a little disappointing for me, but I understand where they're going with this. And I'm definitely buying this on the PS4 because I would love to play this in VR. Probably gonna get a little dizzy when you're trying to do barrel rolling and going upside down and going around. But hey, EA is making a flight-only Star Wars game. It has campaign, multiplayer, everything you would want in a game, and it's only $40. Moving on to the next piece of the pie, the meat and potatoes, if you will. Well, we've asked for it, we've wanted it. Apex Legends is officially heading to both Steam and Switch this fall with crossplay. Absolutely. It appears that everybody is all aboard for it this coming generation for crossplay. And hey, look, we're finally getting Apex Legends, and I haven't even played Apex Legends yet. Eventually, I will get into it. I understand the spectacle that it is. I'm just still a little sore about it, just being the fact that I'm a huge Titanfall fan, and this game is set in the Titanfall universe, but it's not Titanfall. Maybe if they released a single-player campaign and it's similar to Titanfall, fine. But hey, I'm just a bit sore, don't mind me. But hey, Apex Legends is a big deal, and it's bringing EA a lot of money, and people seem to be very happy with it, and they keep releasing new characters and things like that. Kudos to them for this. I gotta give them credit. So, and I'm really excited that they're considering the Nintendo Switch. And speaking of the Nintendo Switch, Andrew Wilson said that you can expect 7 new games coming to the Switch in the next 12 months. And it's including Burnout Paradise, which launched today, and Apex Legends coming this year. Now, I'm excited, and I guess they're also probably talking about FIFA, maybe Madden. And hey, I just want, also there's another game called Lost in Random that they revealed, and that's coming to Nintendo Switch as well. And I'm hoping that we get some of the bigger titles, bigger exciting, and I'm glad that EA is finally decided to wake up and support the Nintendo Switch. It only sold like 60+ million at this point, so why not? And lastly, just that last bite of the food that you take, BioWare, Criterion, DICE, and Motive are all working on games for next gen. Now, they just gave us a tech demo trailer for all of these games. Now, Motive, it seemed like it was actual gameplay of a character jumping around with some sort of gun that can move around objects, and they were flipping around. It was all early renderings, but it looked cool. Criterion's game, of course, is a racing game, and I'm pretty sure it's not Burnout, but then again, who knows? And hey, listen, I love a good action racing game, and I love Burnout. I'm really hoping that they can bring it back. Not a big fan of Burnout Paradise, though, but BioWare has shown us that it seemed that BioWare's game, it might have been Dragon Age. It looked like some trees or some, it basically looked like a fantasy setting in a medieval timing, so I'm pretty sure that might be, take it with a grain of salt, of course, this isn't my actual final word, but this actually might be Dragon Age 4. With DICE, they gave us a look at maybe possibly the next Battlefield game. So listen, I'm really glad that EA has taken everything so serious, and they seem to really understand, and they seem to really learn from their mistakes. I'm very happy about that. Lads and ladders, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like if you did like this video. If not, hit the dislike. It's all good. While you're here, if you haven't already, I don't know why you haven't, hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell. Scroll all the way up to all so you know when your boy is posting. Stay safe, play plenty. Happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there. And I also want to say, I absolutely love video games. I never said I was good at them. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your weekend. This video is finito.